What up, YouTube? I don't have a lot of time because I have dinner reservations and we were recording on a beautiful Saturday, and me and the hubby got date night, so I gotta get to it because he don't ask me, we gonna be on time? You gonna be on time? And I'm like, yes, I am gonna be on time. Okay, so I got 30 minutes with y'all. So let's get to it. What up, crew? What's good? It's your girl Sade, ready for another episode of the Crew Book Club podcast. Always ecstatic to be here, and I'm kind of sitting in a new spot. I wanted to feature my new plant, Flo. I've become this plant mom. So I got Mo in the corner of my dining room. She's my money tree, and then I have Flo back here, and she's just beautiful. So say hello to Flo. All right. We have a really good episode for you. Oh, I have a really good episode for you. And I am on I ain't even gonna lie, y'all, I'm on a time. So I need to get out of here, and I'm gonna get you out of here, okay? So it's gonna be, I'm not gonna short you though on the information, okay? So we are finishing The One Thing. Yes, the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. I hope you enjoyed this book just as much as I always tell people. When doing the pod, it's like reading the book twice, because I really read the book, engulf the book, live the book, and then I come and give it to you here on the pod. So that's why our tagline is, I read the books you should read, but don't have the time to. Okay, so first we're going to get into thanking our sponsor, BetterHelp. Thank you so much for partnering up with the Crew Book Club, where you can get 10% off your first month of therapy. I just shared the link the other day with a friend of mine, not just for convenience, but the opportunity to have a plethora of therapists, not just local, but nationally. So definitely get outside of your local city if you can't find a therapist, and get onto betterhelp.com. That's betterhelp.com/crewlove. The link is in the show notes as well. And if you can't find it, you can always DM your girl on our Instagram or find us on TikTok as well. All right, so you already know, before we get into all the way into the episode, before we get our food of knowledge, we have to start off with like our grace, which is who gonna check me, boo? God is, and he is always checking us because we deserve a good chizek. And I've been holding the book the whole time while on video. If you want to catch the video content, podcasters, and you are YouTube watchers, go to our At the Crew Book Club on YouTube, and you will catch the clips and full unedited episodes, okay? Don't come over here laughing at me. No, I'm joking. You're not laughing at me. You're laughing with me. All right, I just wanted to be always authentic and as vulnerable as possible through video, because listening to it on the pod can be like, oh, I can't visualize what she's saying, or the pauses, because I be making some faces. Okay, so who gonna check me, boo? God is. He is always checking us, and we deserve a good check. And it comes from the Whisper of Hope 366 Devotions, March 1st, James 1, scripture, James chapter 1, verse 5. And the scripture was, if you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. I want to thank God right now for being so generous, for his grace, his mercy, always providing my needs and taking care of my mind, body, and soul. And one of the things, it's like there were so many different ways to look at wisdom, and they took the approach of explaining it from protecting others. So listen to this. It says, the Lord expects you to honor, serve, and respect fellow believers and all other people, not just not just the ones you like, all other people. Don't summarily believe proven stories or general perceptions about them. What does faith help if you play along with the rest of the world's game of gossip, suspicion, spreading, and backstabbing others? Don't live with a critical heart. It will make you spiritually sick. That's why I do not watch the news. I don't even follow certain people on social media. because I don't need to be sickened with the mess. Okay? Rather become thinking, and it says, rather become a thinking, careful believer that lives with God's wisdom. Ask the Lord to give you some of his wisdom today, but then we should accept and embrace it without doubting God's readiness to give. Pray for the heavenly wisdom that will help you discover the difference between duty and love. Pray for a society that's love-driven instead of duty-driven. And so we live in a world where people want to be right, people want to have power, and as a believer, and if we really want to walk in that thing, we have to look at everybody as God's child, okay? And we have to go to him on how we need to interact, and deal with his children. Okay? And so I just want you to look not just from the need of wisdom on how you and I can be successful, but being successful includes how we handle people. It goes back to our previous Gon Check Me Boo about serving others. Okay? And the way to serve is giving and protecting them. Okay? So get out of always about being us and what society says on how we should handle certain people, and let's lean on God for him to help us protect others and have discernment and readiness for his children. Okay, so that was Who Gon Check Me Boo. God is, and he is always checking us. And definitely check out Whispers of Hope. This is a good devotional journal. You could literally read each year and get something different out of it each time you read it. Okay, so let's finish up chapters. Let's finish up the book. Yeah, The One Thing, Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Gary Keller and J. Papasan. And chapter 17 is The Four Thieves, and chapter 18, The Journey. That's when the work really starts, right? So chapter 17, it opens up with the quote, "Focus is a matter of deciding what things you're not going to do," by John Carmack. You know, it's more important to know what you're going to say no to than it is what you're going to say yes to, so you won't be distracted and you can get the real work done, the things that really matter, the one thing that really matters. So I like how they open up that quote. And that's what tends to be our thieves of our time and accomplish our goals, is we tend to focus on the things that really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to decide on what not to do before you can get started on what to do, so you can have effective and efficient time. So the four thieves of productivity listed in the book is the inability to say no. Ooh. Second, the fear of chaos. Okay. 3, poor health habits. I know. And 4, environment doesn't support your goals. Super, super important, all 4 of these. So let's deep dive into each one. Number 1, the inability to say no, pages 192 through 193. Okay. It says, and I took the tidbits out of each section, but trust me, there's a plethora of information that you could use. I just take what I felt was really like, ooh, hitters for me, and hopefully it applies to you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. I'm telling you, if you get the book, you'll find something. All right. So point 1 that stuck out to me was, the way to protect what you said yes to and stay productive is to say no to anyone or anything that could derail you. Yes. The thing could be the TV, it could be the phone, the person could be the friend, and I'm talking about the friend that you really like talking to on the phone, the one that you see them calling, you know it's not a 5-minute conversation. Gladly text them and say, hey, I am focusing. Hit me back. Or better yet, put that phone on Do Not Disturb so you won't be disturbed. And what I started to do is I put a Do Not Disturb recording the pod, so you know exactly what your girl is over here doing. Not saying that everybody needs to know, but that's also a slick way for me to promote the podcast. Anywho, one of the other points in the section was, each additional obligation chips away at your effectiveness every at everything you try. So the more things you do, the less successful you are at any of them. You can't please everyone, so don't try. In fact, when you try, the one person you absolutely won't please is yourself. What is my quote on the back of my bookmark? Make the best decisions for you because no one else will. Yes, you have to do that because everyone you can't please. And I know in the Who Gon Check Me Boo, we talk about not putting ourselves first. This context of putting yourself first is making sure that you're not pleasing yourself to fulfill your goals, okay? And the thing was, the additional obligation chips away at your effectiveness of everything you try. So focus on what's doing, like the book says, the right thing instead of everything, okay? All right, the other point that stood out to me was what on page 193, the master marketer Seth Godin says, you can say no with respect. You can say no promptly, and you can say no with a lead to someone who might say yes. So no is a good thing because no is a complete sentence. It allows you to be effective and not waste your time on things that shouldn't be done. It's okay to say no immediately if you know your spirit not gonna match up with it promptly. You know, if you can't do anything, don't avoid people. Just communicate and be honest and say no. I can't stand someone who know they can't do anything but don't communicate. It's the most vexing thing. And in business, if you're trying to elevate, you cannot operate that way. Just keep it honest with people. And if it's no, I would rather you say no to me than to say yes and do it with regret, or say no to, or have the wanting to say no, but don't say no and have me over here like, okay, what the heck is going on? Well, not me, because I'll move on. I don't care, y'all. All right. And then the no's will lead to the right yes. So remember that saying by Seth Godin. You can say no with respect, you can say no promptly, and you can say no with a lead to someone who might say yes. All right. So those were the ones that stood out to me in this section. The inability to say no, which is a thief of ours. Don't be so obligated to say yes. Be more obligated to say no. All right. Second, the fear of chaos. Y'all, this right here really checked me too, because I have this thing where everything needs to be in the right place before I can do anything. And this really got me. This is a thief. It's a thief of time too. Messes, page 195, it says, messes are inevitable. When you focus on just one thing while you whittle away on your most important work, the world doesn't sit and wait. It stays on fast forward, and things just rack up and stack up while you bear down on a singular priority. This is laundry for me. And I outsource laundry, but when I cannot outsource it or don't have time to drop it off and I'm looking at it, staring at me, I have to figure out, okay, do I just take the stuff out that I need to wash and focus on that? Because I don't want to be consumed doing this thing when I could be doing my most important thing. And that also goes back to time blocking or how much you spend on those things. And it also made me think I know as women, a lot of us struggle with laundry because typically we're responsible for it. I realized, okay, it's okay, babe, to take out what you need and just wash that. Everything don't need to be washed on Sunday or Saturday. Everything don't need to be put away on Saturday and Sunday. It is okay. It's your house. You pay for it. Take your time to do what is best for your mental, okay? The fear of chaos does not exist. It is a lie. It is a thief of time. It is a thief of our productivity, okay? On page 196, when it comes to the fear of chaos, it says, focusing on one thing has a guaranteed consequence. Other things don't get done. Although that's exactly the point, it doesn't automatically make us feel better about it. Yes, it's a thief and it's okay. And it says when this happens, when you give in to the pressure of any chaos being left unattended, it can be a total thief, but not when it comes to productivity. It's okay to let the dishes go. It's okay to not sweep the floor at this appointed time. When you're trying to be productive and build your business, It is okay. It says here, the truth is, it's a package deal. When you strive for greatness, chaos is guaranteed to show up. It's important for you to accept this instead of fighting it. Get used to it and get over it. Woo, woo. This came for me. I took this class, Bowls for Real Estate, last year, and one of my challenges one week was to leave the laundry alone. Because I was a person, sometimes I would want to stay up late just to get it done. And if you go upstairs right now to my room, it's laundry. It's stuff that needs to be put away. And at first, I would be like, okay, I got to do it before we leave. Now I just like, it'll be all right. Because I'm being productive in other ways. It's more of a priority to spend time with my family or to even take a nap to be well and alert than putting them clothes away. Okay? So that was being productivity in a way of letting the fear of chaos be a thief of our productivity. All right? Number 3, poor health habits. This, you don't have to preach to me about this one. I already know. So maybe this will help you. Yeah. So it says on page 198, if you don't take care of your body, where will you live? Listen to that. If you don't take care of your body, where will you live? Okay? Personal energy mismanagement is a silent thief of productivity. When we keep barring against our future by poorly protecting our energy, there is a predictable outcome of either slowing, running out of gas, or prematurely crashing and burning. We see it all the time with our politicians, with the famous people that we know, where it's like, go, 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 go. These people are not taking care of themselves. And I'm not just talking about physically, I'm talking about mentally. And even there's a direct connection to how you eat and how your body functions and how your mind functions. So your health is super important. And it says here on page 199, so what can you do? Begin early with meditation and prayer for spiritual energy. Starting the day by connecting with your higher purpose aligns with your thoughts and actions with a larger story. Okay, and when you're fueled up after breakfast, head to your exercise spot. See, I do it opposite. I work out first, then I eat. But anywho, head to your exercise spot to relieve stress and strengthen your body. The point is, exercising helps relieve stress and it strengthens your body, which all in all, it says here, conditioning gives you maximum capacity, which is critical for maximum productivity. You cannot be functioning. You can. Now, is it effective and efficient to be producing when your body is not in tip-top shape? No. So imagine if your body was in tip-top shape and productive. You'll be out here killing it. Okay? Killing it. So let's reconsider how we look at our health habits, and let's not look at as it not being productive. It's one of the most productive things you can do for your body to be productive in your business, okay? It will translate beautifully, all right? And one of the 5 things they have in here of a highly productive person's daily energy plan is 1, meditate and pray for spiritual energy. 2, eat right, exercise, and sleep sufficiently for physical energy. 3, hug, kiss, and laugh with loved ones for emotional energy. 4, set goals, plan a calendar of mental energy. 5, time block your one thing for business energy. Nowhere in here it said laundry, dishes, clean your floors, wash your cars. It didn't say none of that, okay? Those are the things of a highly productive person daily energy plan, all right? So 4, environment doesn't support your goals. Y'all already know I'm big with my environment. I'm big who I socialize with. I don't socialize with everybody. I will try an environment, but if my spirit doesn't align with it, I'm out. Okay? It says here, your environment must support your goals. Your environment is simple, who you see and what you experience every day. On the figure 33 on page 203, and my podcast listeners, I'll explain it to you. It's like a triangle. And at the bottom of the triangle, blocked in 2 squares, it says people and a place. That's your foundation. And your one thing is sitting on top of that. Okay? Which is very important. The people you surround yourself and the places that you involve yourself in is the basis and the foundation that should be supporting your goals, your one thing. If you I'm a realtor and I go into the office. Sometimes I go into the office and I sit with everybody at a table, and sometimes I have to go into a private conference room so I can really focus on my one thing to get things done, because that silent environment is what's going to support it. But also going into the office when I see other agents that are there, we can talk and work through the struggles. Instead of focusing on the struggles, we focus on solutions instead of being alone, deep diving into feelings and being around people that's going to help pull you out and support you and give you resources. Okay, so be mindful of the people and the places that you surround yourself with. They should be supporting your goals. On 203, it says, ultimately, being with success-minded people creates what researchers call a positive spiral of success, where they lift you up and send you on your way. And that's what should happen in every environment you in. Now, if you get into an environment in it and you walk away depleted, you need to reevaluate that environment. Okay? 204, on page 204, it says, in time, you begin to think, act, and even look a little like those you hang out with. Hanging out with people who seek success will strengthen your motivation and positively push your performance. The wrong people in your environment can most certainly dissuade, deter, and distract you from the productivity course you've set out on. But the opposite is also true. No one succeeds alone and no one fails alone. Pay attention to the people around you. Seek out those who will support your goals and show the door to anyone who won't. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Okay. All right. So those were your 4 thieves, chapter 17, inability to say no, fear of chaos, poor health habits, and environment doesn't support your goals. Woo, that was so good. Let's get into chapter 18, the journey. Okay. The journey is just getting started for you. We read the book and now it's time to apply what we read. It's no point of gaining all of this knowledge and not putting it into action. All right. The journey on page 208, the opening quote says, to get through the hardest journey, you need to take only one step at a time, but you must keep stepping. Okay. We gotta keep stepping. All right. It says here, one step at a time, no matter the objections, no matter the destination, the journey to anything you want always starts with a single step. Close your eyes and imagine your life as big it can possibly be. I really want you to do that. Close your eyes and take a moment, and I want you to see how big your life can be. Hope your eyes are closed. If you're driving, do this later. Now, open your eyes and listen to me. Whatever you can see, you have the capacity to move toward. And when what you go for is as vast as you possibly envision, you'll be living the biggest life you can possibly live. Living large is that simple. Okay, and that was on page 209. Now, when you lift the limits off your thinking, you expand the limits of your life. It's only when you can imagine a bigger life that you can ever hope to have one. So you have to think and envision big, okay? The challenge is that living the largest life possible requires not only to think big, but also to take the necessary actions to get there. Extraordinary results require you to go small. That's when we break those things down, okay? No matter how big you think, when you know where you're going and work backwards to what you need to do to get there, you'll always discover it begins with going small. Everybody, some of the biggest people, I cannot think of that man's name right now, the owner of Tesla. He didn't start at Tesla. He started at the bottom and he worked his way up. You know what I'm saying? But he was putting in the work, okay? Oprah, look where she started. You know what I'm saying? We all start somewhere. And I'm gonna even say Cardi. That girl started stripping in New York and look at her now. Like, no matter what industry you go to or in, these people started from somewhere. Some of the most influential people started from the bottom. it's very rare you see a lot of generational success stories now, because they don't have the privilege of the struggle, because there's privilege and struggle that is going to catapult you to the next level. Okay, it's just choosing how you pursue, how you take in your struggles. You heard about the story about the sons who was raised by the drunk dad. One used it as a way of knowing what not to be, and the other one went the other direction. We all have a choice to choose. Okay? All right. So getting into chapter 18 as well. And I love this quote that they have by Mark Twain. It says, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bowl lines, sail away. Sorry, y'all. Throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds and the sails, explore, dream, and discover. Okay? A lot of times we put ourselves in this box where we get too old and we feel like we don't need to explore anymore. Oh, this is what it is. Da 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 da. No, there's a big world out there, and if you're thinking it, honey, you can do it. Explore it, dream it, and discover it. Okay? Do not limit yourself. On page 216, it's like the only person on earth that can give you a life worth living is you. Nobody else. No matter what situation you are in, you have to take sole responsibility of you. Okay? And I want you to remember that every time you start complaining about your life, no, complain to yourself. And I did a quote about that earlier this week. I said, instead of complaining about your life to other people, complain to yourself so much, to your inner self, that you decide to change. Okay? On page 216, they ended the chapter like this. Put yourself together. Your world falls into place when you bring purpose to your life, not nobody else. Okay? Know your priorities. No one knows your priorities but you. And achieve high productivity on the priority that matters most every day. Your life makes sense and the extraordinary becomes possible. All success in life starts within you. Okay? You know what to do. You know how to do it. Your next step is simple. You are the first domino. Nobody else. You have no excuses. You are in the position you are in because at one point, that's what you chose. And point blank, period. All right? That was our book. Woo, The Extraordinary Results. The one thing, the surprising simple truth behind extraordinary results. Okay? You are the one thing that's going to make your life extraordinary. Point blank, period. Okay? All right. Challenge of the week is to survey your choices, which was inspired on page 210 of the book. One second. Okay. It says, you must survey your choices, narrow your options, line up your priorities, and do what matters most. You must go small, and you must find your one thing. So this week, I want you to narrow your choices. I want you to narrow them down. I want you to write them all down on a piece of paper, okay? For the person who's not satisfied with their life right now, I want you to write down all your choices you made in the past 2 years, okay? And see where you need to shift. Whatever choices you were making then to get you where you are today, I want you to do the opposite, okay? For the person you are where you want to be, I want you to write out the choices you need to take to elevate to the next level, okay? For both of you, put this list where it is visible. I like putting things in my phone notes or on a piece of paper in my office since I'm there every day in that space. It's visible. That way, on those days you don't know what to do, you have a guide. So for when you look back on why you keep failing, I want you to evaluate your time management and what choices are you choosing to do before completing your 75 hard task. And are you properly prioritizing? Maybe 75 hard is your one thing. Because what I realized for me, I needed to do 75 hard before I did anything else, because I needed to show I can be disciplined to myself. And the moment that you can be disciplined to yourself, then you can be disciplined to other things. Okay? So do that. That would be my advice, right? Do the challenge of the week with 75 hard and allow 75 hard to be your one thing for the next 75 days that you focus on every day before anything else. And I know you're probably thinking, whether you're an entrepreneur, I'm not sure or not, well, I got a business I got to run. Okay, cool. Do that. But make sure 75 hard is the priority. All right. So that was the What Would the Crew Do segment of the show. If you can ask me anything or need advice, please email at thecrewbookclub@gmail.com or simply DM on IG, The Crew Book Club. Okay, so we can't end the episode without a quote of the week. The quote of the week comes from Herbert Bayard. It says, "I cannot give you the formula for success, but I can give you the formula for failure, which is trying to please everybody." All right, crew. Before you go out and please others, let us please ourselves by making the best choices to be accountable for the work we need to do within. Thanks for hanging with the Crew Book Club podcast. I will see you right here next week, Monday, for another episode. Hey!